I give you your credit. Mikel Arteta, the only tactical decision that I would have any queries about is Martin Odegaard. Don't care what no one tells me. Last three starts, he's been good. I think we lost a bit of control when he came off. Second half, the game kind of opened up, and you have to be able to throw punches in games like this, and you have to be able to take punches. And we were on the rope 1-2 times. Lookman's finishing on another day. He scores. Griezmann hitting the bar. Julian Alvarez obviously bagged from the spot, but just him creeping on the edge of our area is a bit scary. And I would say first 10 minutes was a bit sloppy. Atletico started well. Other than that, I think we grew into the game. I think Declan Rice had a massive game. Shock horror. He's back in his kind of traditional role today, and he's doing that. I feel Hincapié did his thing. Obviously, if Mikel Merino and Kai Havertz were fit today, I think they play up front. Gyökeres, you did well. And we all had a lot to say about Mr. Gyökeres' decision-making and overall quality on the break at Fulham away. He should have an assist. Odegaard probably should have scored. So if I was nitpicking, in the final third, we probably could have scored a bit more goals. Again, if I was nitpicking, Odegaard shouldn't have come off Mikel Arteta. Noni Madueke's decision-making was actually decent today, I feel, and we weren't in the box. There was one moment, Hincapié stood up tall today, but there was one moment, Hincapié's made a run. Bit of quality from Martinelli on the final ball. There's an opportunity there, and I'm sure there's other things I'm missing out. A couple of chances and opportunities we potentially could have done better. I did like the play between Declan Rice and Zubamendi, which led to the first. Obviously, I'm going to, say Eze, that should have been a penalty, and I'm going to say Benjamin White's is never a pen. I don't know what Ben White's meant to do with his arm, if I'm completely honest. It feels like playing Football Manager. The things we could control, we probably could have conceded. We probably could have done better in the final third. The second half, even though you have to take punches, it probably opened. I did like the confident display in the first half. Both teams are structured off the ball. There isn't going to be too much space. We know, one, owing to what we've probably seen with Arsenal and Mikel Arteta's tactics, the European games and the European tempo is obviously more suited to us. And I think that was it. I actually feel Diego Simeone, not that Atletico were poor, but they were probably respecting us, giving us a bit too much grace and things of that ilk. I think he tore into his players at halftime because they did come out on smoke. And that's why I'll actually give Mikel Arteta credit for the subs, because was losing a bit of control. The fans were up for it. Obviously, I did like Gabriel Jesus because I needed him to come on and just pack the midfield. The 3 subs he made initially, I'm for that, if I'm completely honest with you. Noni and Ben, I'll give you that. Defensively, I thought you lot were going to let us down today. Martinelli, we know why you're in the game, because what you could do backwards. My midfield, Zubamendi, Odegaard, Rice, you stood up to be counted. Gyökeres, obviously, when you play in behind quickly and he's a final action player, you get things. And whatever people have to say about Gyökeres, end of the day, he's got 3 goals in 2 games against Atletico Madrid now. Atletico away, Inter away, Chelsea away. And I have to big up Gabriel Magalhaes for that block. Saliba was brilliant. David Raya, I don't think he had much to do, but you stood up tall collecting crosses and things of that ilk. So, yeah, man, I'm proud of my boys. Bit of optimism going into Tuesday's game. Bit of more belief now going into Fulham. End of the day, we're 5 games away from fighting for a double. 4 games in the Premier League. We do, as a minimum, we win them 4 games. Hope City drop points. You've got the Premier League. Boy, between Bayern and PSG, nothing's decided. Anything can happen. If you're in it, you've got a chance. But regardless of who progresses out of Atletico Madrid and Arsenal, it's probably expected between PSG. Well, either PSG retain the Champions League or Bayern under company win it again, innit? But you have to go and get there. Complete side note, but even the goal difference thing. People would say City are a better goal scoring side than us. Go and look at the goals scored in the Premier League. There ain't too much in it. People say we're a better defensive side than City. Go and look at the goals conceded. There isn't too much in it. Win your games, hope for the best in it. But yeah, man, I think we did well today, man. I think we did well. It feels like playing Football Manager. What we could control, fair play, boys. You stood up tall away from home and you've got it all to play for. The ref made it about him. Because if we're honest, in the present day, bro, like these 3, at least 2 of the 3 pens. Well, one wasn't given in it, but like the penalty incidences are shocking. I don't think UEFA for any of these footballing federations ever want to change these things. So yeah, man, it's always going to be there. I think Atletico had like 10, 11 shots in the second half, and it was some nervy moments. And I do think both teams were in their shape and compact, but obviously as the game goes on, I think there was a lot of space. And Simeone knows this, Arteta knows this. And if you look at the game today or the game yesterday, all of these managers in the present day, they're micro managers. They want to manage everything, but you cannot control chaos. That game did become a bit chaotic, whether it was for the referee's decision or the players, it did become a bit chaotic. By no means was Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid more entertaining than Bayern Munich versus PSG, right, folks? But if you would have watched that, it was a lot more entertaining. People were saying, haram ball, there ain't going to be goals and things, and there weren't that many goals. football's decided in both boxes. The build-up play to both goals that ultimately were conceded. Both managers would have hoped they'd done better. Both managers probably got a sigh of relief that, the opposition didn't score more. Both managers probably want to clean up a bit defensively in it. So, yeah, on another day, my individuals got to make the difference, though, man. They got to make the difference. I'll be real. I think Saka had some good touches, but I think he was poor off the bench. We all knew Saka wasn't going to play today, innit? But we did expect him to do so. I think he was quite wasteful on the ball. Eze, if I'm completely honest, man, I wanted you to start. I understand Martinelli coming in off that left-hand side. The trade-off thing isn't going to quite work, but Eze, very wasteful, especially when we're up against it. And there's many ways to defend. You can be compact, you can sit in behind, but there was moments where we're trying to take this thing out of the game, and several players did show bravery in that regards to put some passes together to, it was kind of end-to-end like a basketball match on occasion. But Eze, you are Mr. Ball retention. I think you gave the ball away very cheaply. The bar is on the floor with Gabriel Jesus, but isolated to his minutes, I think he done well. For me, it'd be Hincapié and Rice. I think you two stood up the tallest. Lovely to see Gyökeres scored, and we got it all to do in it. And you see the play with Superman Dino in it. There was even a moment, Benjamin White, I think he should have played Odegaard, but yeah, 2 games on the spin is something that's been on brand with us last season and this season. Decision making in the final third. Ultimately, football's decided in both boxes, and neither team done enough. Whether we're going to look at the referee or we're going to look at what we can control, both teams never done enough to obviously get 3 points tonight in it. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We did a lot better than I thought. We weren't as timid as I thought. We weren't as negative as we thought. A lot of people, I do think we got robbed. I know a lot of people are probably going to do the whole, we went a goal up and didn't go for it. I think that's very naive. And I think that's something that there's a lot of valid claims in that. And there's a lot of validity. I don't think it applies to the Champions League and today. So, yeah, man, we stood up tall today. It is what it is. I always say, Mikel Arteta, you've got to win me the Premier League. Boys, if you want to win the Champions League, I do think it's down to you. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, of course, the players have to get the job done in the Premier League. Of course, Mikel Arteta's tactics have to do well. But you look at PSG, they came for the individuals, got them out of it. I'm sure neither manager wanted to concede 5 goals or 4 in PSG's hands, right? But there was a moment where you would describe yesterday as a 50-50 kind of game, right? There was a period again in the second half where I would say it went 60-40 in PSG's favor, where they went 2 goals or 3 goals up. Bayern Munich got themselves back in it. They're individuals, bit of quality from whoever. You get where I'm going. So, yeah, man, we're the underdogs for getting this over the line. We do battle with Atletico next week. We focus on Fulham. And we see what we can do, obviously, in the second leg, man. We've got a good shot. We're 5 games away from having a decent season. So, yeah, smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts. As usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And, of course, in some cases, good night, people. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Obviously, shoes on the other. I personally feel if the Eze incident happens in Arsenal's box, I personally think that's given. But, I mean, come on. I saw the still images in real time. I mean, come on, man. There's contact. Yes, the ball's gone away. But isolated to the present, there is one. You're a prick. You shouldn't get any hot water or anything if you ever referee at the Emirates again. Well, full stop. If you've done it before, obviously this one was played in Spain. But yeah, man, we coped well in a hostile atmosphere that obviously going into the game, Atletico Madrid fans are going to make it mad. They're going to do the most, people. And I'm not going to lie, Griezmann off the ball scaring me. Lookman being quite positive. Julian Alvarez on the edge of our area. There were some sloppy giveaways if I was nitpicking, but I'm sorry. How's that a penalty? How's that not a penalty? I'm also, well, where is it gone? It's kicked. It's hit Ben White's leg and then hit his hand. What is it? Is he meant to disconnect his hand? Of course. Shoes on the other foot and Atletico Madrid man does that. Of course I'm screaming it. I'm not going to sit here and act perfect. Scandalous decisions, robbery, but control the controllables, man. We did what we could. We controlled the majority of the controllables. Good performance away from home, if I'm honest, man, and on brand with what we've been doing in the Champions League, and we're still undefeated. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. The referee, the slippery pitch aside, we need longer studs, man, because a number of our players were falling on the floor, especially Hincapié in the beginning stages, Rob. And I don't know if it's true, but apparently our ground staff, complain to UEFA about such. But the referee and the slippery pitch aside, big up the toilet paper. Gyökeres' penalty. Squad played mostly well tonight. Regardless, though, we should have been a goal up. On to the next one. Again, at 1-0 up, instead of going for 2, we sit back. Guys, I pray I'm wrong, but this manager will win nothing wherever he goes. He's a loser mentality, and a loser in general. What intonation? You got Karma, what you referred to. Big up the mods. Linz, appreciate you. Smash the likes. Riley, big up the Twitch gang. Probably robbed of a second pen, but Odegaard chance with it. Bro, Odegaard's got us. Why didn't he shoot? Why don't these left-footed man swing their right peg? Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing from Gyökeres. Like, the first touch is great. He's carrying the ball. He should have an assist. And it's these, you know what? We don't know how the second leg's going to go. We obviously didn't know from that point the referees and what referees things, but isolated to what we could control. We could have controlled that better. Big up David Raya as well. I do think we was robbed. But you take the 1-1. True, the refs are pussy, old man. Surely we can seal the deal at the Emirates. We're going to have to. I'm happy with the performance. Atletico was never going to be easy. Also, brilliant cameo from Eze. Brilliant. I think he lost the ball a bit too cheaply. I think the only thing is there was a couple of good moments where he span away from his man, but I think the only noteworthy moment from Eze is obviously what should have been a penalty. I actually think Eze gave the ball away very cheaply, especially when we needed to retain it, as I've been referring to. The draw is a good result. Atletico are a good team. We controlled the game very well in the first half, especially. Noni decent when he got the ball. Exactly. And if I haven't said it, Noni put some good balls into the box, man. DG, Eze scores that Odegaard chance. Just don't think Odegaard was at it today. I think you're being very harsh on Odegaard. Obviously, the finishing, we're a long way away from 2022-23. He probably does, but there's also been incidences where Eze's missed cheap goals, if I'm honest, man. So, yeah, man. Eze should have come on for Nelly, in my opinion. As much as Odegaard lacks the offensive quality, we lost control without him. Something I agree with. Gyökeres definitely had a good performance today. He really showcased his strengths. Fair play, man. Fair play. Nah, DG. Ray's had shit to do. If Kepa's in the net, it's a 4-1. Yeah, man. Kepa. Raya, I've got no... Listen, what Raya was... I do think, if I'm an Atletico Madrid fan, Lookman should have bagged. There's a couple of chances where they should have scored. Maybe Lookman's thinking, yo, Mandem FC, I want to play for the Emirates. I want to play at the Emirates one day. Defo should have scored. But when I needed Raya to collect his corners, when I needed him to be equal to it, Raya, Nkapie, that Magalhaes block, I'm not going to stop speaking about it. For me, Declan Rice, obviously Gyökeres did his thing. The collective. Obviously, I could demand more from the players. We have to chase the illusion of perfection, but if we shut the bed today, I would have got onto you lot. You lot did what you needed to do. The ref has robbed Atletico Madrid and Arsenal. We've seen poor penalties given in the Premier League, but also and not given and inconsistent decisions, not just in the Prem, but in the Champs, man. DG, love the quick reaction video you just posted. Short and concise. Love that. Appreciate you trying to look after everyone, man. It is what it is. Funny enough, though, there was more shots this game than the PSG Bayern one. Which tells you stats saying everything. Morning, evening, social, man. Game played out as expected. Meaty game. Really? If that, I'm just seeing bare tears from rivals. Hate watching. I'd say it's the opposite, DG. Eze's ball retention is not great, but his quick actions are a joy to watch. Yeah, they are. But today, especially in that second half, where, again, it's one thing throwing punches. It's another thing bobbing and weaving, especially when you're on the ropes. If it was a boxing match, I think Eze's ball retention was poor, if I'm completely honest with you, man. Fact, stand on it, DG. It's definitely a pen. A soft penalty got you lot riled up. A soft penalty or a hard penalty is still a penalty. I do think the rest made it by himself. Do think we should have a pen. But as you heard me say, control the controllables. Could we probably have showed a bit more clinicalness in the final third? Yes, we probably could have and probably should have scored more goals. We also have to be thankful that, as Marcel said, Lookman never had his shooting boots on. I genuinely thought he scored. A part of me thought Alvarez's free kick went in. You know when the camera angles kind of trick you, innit? To be fair, the white penny decision, while contentious, is at least consistent with yesterday, which is also true. Still wouldn't show. Go grab your... Oh, you're talking about Marcel. You think that pen is a 2026 pen? 100% in what football's gone. Football, the game we loved, went away a long time ago. Isolated to the nonsense we see, that is definitely a pen. But it is what it is. Road to 100K. Smash the likes, people. Subscribe. Michael, you're far too kind. Shane, one love. DG, you and Romario on TalkSport Dream Team. Big up Romario for that one, man. I didn't think the Gyökeres push was a red, but if we're going by the letter of the law, Atletico should have had 10 men. Referees being inconsistent, chalk and cheese. Let's see what the gaffers had to say. First of all, what a privilege to play the Champions League semi-final in the stadium. What an energy, what an atmosphere they created. We had big parts of the game, very similar to what we wanted. We went ahead with a penalty. Unfortunately, in the second half, we started a bit sloppy, which I said, with certain giveaways, which I said, and giving them some momentum, which is what I said. And that's the moment they used it. That's something that we knew we had to go through in the manner that we gave the pen. Very disappointed. In the Premier League, it's not a penalty, but here I have to accept that with the rules. Obviously, how consistent they've been. They have been consistent with their nonsense. For example, yesterday by Munich, I accept that this is a humble... What? I accept that this is a humble... I'm not sure what that means, people. What I am incredibly fuming with is how the hell the penalty on Ebbs gets overturned in the manner that it happened. Right? Did Arteta actually say this? Did he actually say this? that happened when it's not a clear and obvious error, and that this changes the course of the game. True, it did. And at this level, I'm sorry, but this cannot happen, which is true. But all we can do is control the controllables. Arsenal fan, football fan, we've done a lot of moaning about referees, right or wrong. Nonsense today. There's going to be nonsense. Sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it goes against you. It is what it is in that regards, people. The decision and then what happens for a period of time, and the referee has to watch it 13 times. It's more clear than that. I think it's more clear than that. It's impossible. And yeah, we are all fuming about it. On if the crowd, bro, the crowd's gonna have an impact. The crowd are gonna be nervous if the players are feeling nervous. If there's a decision that goes for or against Atletico, they're gonna be up for it. On the best of days, it's a fantastic atmosphere, isn't it? So yeah, it is what it is, people. We can't control that. End of the day, if you want to be in semi-finals and doing the business up and down this country or in other countries, you're gonna go into someone's yard in a footballing terms. It's always gonna be horrible, people. If I'm honest with you, that has nothing to do with that. I'm sure they're very well aware of what the reaction is going to be. It's normal, that reaction. We need to apply the rules. The same thing that I'm saying that they applied the rules on Ben White's penalty, that is difficult to accept, but it's a penalty with a handbook. And what they said at the beginning of the season, Ebbs, is clear and very obvious penalty. That's it. I don't know that's their job, and they have a process, and whatever they do, they should believe it's the right thing. I have nothing to say. I'm just saying I'm judging the action and the manner that happens and the way it got overturned. On if we'll use the overturned penalty as fuel for next week. Well, yes, and the good and the bad. You take the bad and improve it. Take the evident good and make it great. Yet football's decided at both ends. We should have conceded more. We should have had more clinical finishing. Midfielder was cool today. I ain't really got smoke for the boys today, man. Isolated what we can control. Fair enough. Proud of you lot. But being prideful doesn't mean anything. You need to go and get the job done. And it's all to play for at the Emirates, where we're nowhere near Atletico Madrid standards. We're making it a noisy atmosphere. But bring your breakfast, bring your lunch, bring your shin pads, bring your tifos, bring your Banksy paintings and set pieces. Do everything in it, really. So, yeah, man. And obviously, we still be crying about Ben White or Eze's opportunities. But had we have maybe taken advantage of some others, we probably would have maybe had the lead, or it could have been very different in certain other regards. But I love it, man. It is what it is. Yes, but when you have fought so hard for 9 months to be in this position, I mean, that's another goal that changed completely the course of the tie. And it cannot happen. I'm sorry we put so much on it, so much on it. This cannot happen. On potential complaints to UEFA, I don't know. I leave that to the club to decide what's the best thing to do. Now they're not going to give us a pen that's gone. That's it. Let's talk about football. On Gyökeres. And you know what? You did your thing today. Yeah, I think. And do you know what? With Gyökeres today, obviously, I didn't know you was going to score a pen, but you're a service-reliant striker. I thought going into this, Atletico are going to be compact and pack out the midfield. We're going to do the same. Both teams are going to cancel each other out. Gyökeres is going to have like 70 million red and white shirts around him. But yeah, man, it wasn't that today. I think I agree with that. I think he had a very strong first half, especially when we were more dominating. He created the goal and the penalty, and he was ice cool to score it in the manner that he did. I wonder if the Eze penalty was given, because Gyökeres came off. I wonder who would have taken that. And then the second half changed a little bit. Credit to them, but there are a lot of things that we need to do much better. And I think that then we had to change, which is true. I agree with Jesus coming on. Pardon me. We changed that. I think the game has changed as well, and we ended up finishing on top. On if the ref needs to be stronger. I'm not here to judge the process. It's their process. Arteta and process. There's an irony there, isn't it? It's a decision that they are clear. Okay, they stick to it because that's the rules. What does it mean coaching the players to accept that? And when there's something different, when you play in the same part of the Champions League and change it, it cannot happen. On how pleased he is with the result, I'm very proud. I said that to the boys. We handled any kind of context for 9.5. What? I can't lie. Whoever's writing this year, they're not even trying, bro. They just wanted to clock off. I am very proud. I said to the boys, we handled any context for 9.5 years is remarkable. When has Arteta been here for 9 years? News to me, man. Obviously, that means 9.5 months. And I really value what they've done because I've seen some of the best teams in the world here fall apart. We didn't get the result that we wanted. The way we planned the game, we wanted to win it. But at least it's in our hands, in front of our people, to be in that final. And in a week's time, we're going to have the opportunity to do so. I wonder if he goes with Bukayo from the start and Eze from the start against Atletico. But we need to focus, obviously, on Fulham first and foremost. You can't look too far ahead. That's part of. Steve McManaman said, I thought the behavior of Diego Simeone and his assistants when the referee was coming over to the monitor was atrocious. Once he gives the pen and there's contact, it's not a clear and obvious error. He shouldn't go back and re-referee again. I mean, if we do decide that's the right decision, then however we got there, he's made the right decision. But there's inconsistencies. There's consistencies with it being given for Ben White, when you consider the game yesterday. But again, the whole clear and obvious. My thing is control the controllables. was not. I don't think Saka was horrific. I definitely think he was underwhelming. I think him and Eze were quite underwhelming, especially Eze losing the ball. But big up Eze. I think Madueke was okay. Good, maybe because the bar's on the floor, if I'm honest with you. Smash the like button, as Hyper said. I just want to hear what Henri says. What has Henri said? Has he spoken? Since the start of December 2025, Martin Zubimendi has made more starts than any other midfielder for the big five European league clubs across all competitions. Now, the stats have probably changed a bit, but of the 4 semi-finalists going into this game, I'm sure Zubimendi, Jurien Timber, who we can't call upon at this moment, I want to say Declan Rice, and there's another Arsenal player. We've played the most minutes now. They played the most minutes of the 4 teams. Now, I'll give the boys credit because beyond all the other things that we need to do well and haven't done well, we are leggy in it. We looked a bit spent against Newcastle. So big shift really and truly in this competition. That's why I think the tempo of the European games helps us out a bit. But at the same time, it doesn't matter really and truly whether it's that there or what I've said. We've seen this. We know certain men have been running to the ground. It is what it is, and it's not what it's not. What has Alan Shearer said? I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. That is never a penalty in a million years. You look at Ben White there, he's not even jumping. He's simply standing his ground and sticking out a leg to make a block. When you move like that, your arms have to go somewhere. They're just dangling in a completely natural position for a player in that motion. The ball is hit with such pace from point-blank range that there's zero time to react. If you can't beat them, join them. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty to live clean. Boys, if you're ever in incidences like that, rightly or wrongly, the decision's been made. So if you're in decisions where obviously you want to go for goal, but maybe in the champs we should be more trigger happy. It hits someone's hand, you don't quite know how it's going to pan out, people, essentially. Because you could argue that Eze's one should have been given, it shouldn't have been given, but you could argue the 3 penalty shouts, the game's gone because they shouldn't really be pens. But yeah, man. This is precisely why VAR is there to detect such obvious errors and see the context of the movement, not to punish a player for having limbs. To call that an unnatural position is a joke. For me, it's a shocking decision that has massively hindered Arsenal in a game of this magnitude. Atletico have been handed a gift they didn't really earn. And also at the same time, whether it's the champs or the Prem, these 3 penalty moments, they could happen and have in other games and have very different contexts. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Gyökeres is just a 4th player to score in a UEFA Champions League semi-final for Arsenal. You've got Kolo Touré, Robin van Persie, Bukayo Saka, and Mr. Gyökeres, people. What's going on here? So yeah, man, it is what it is. Pick up Eze, man. It is what it is. And Wenger weren't lying. When I die, I'm going to ask God where the referees are before I choose between heaven and hell. The referee tried to do the best. And Koke, shout out. Someone needs to clamp him. The referee tried to do the best job possible. If we can also make a mistake with passes or shots, he can also get some things wrong. He made decisions today, but it's okay. We all try and do our best we can. Fair enough. Make sure they eat, sleep, get a lot of love, and use every single hour of the day to get in the best possible position to compete and win against Fulham. Smash the like button if you haven't. It's halfway. We're in an incredible position. Semi-final of the Champions League. We have to play in front of our people. It's in our hands. Now recover and then Fulham. Big up Julian Alvarez, man. Come and join us, man. Put the P's down, bro. I know we can't get him. Hincapié, absolute warrior you are, lad. And obviously, Ben White, you shouldn't be stepping on like that's just it's disrespectful, Benjamin White. But yeah, there were some scenes between Simeone and Ben White as well. What Gyökeres said. We know when we play at home with our fans, it's going to be different for sure. We just have to do our job, be at our best, and it will be a good game. I don't know why they turned it down. It looked like contact, but it's their decision. Arsenal fans will be sitting at home with this second leg. They need to make it equally as horrible for the opposition. Yeah, our fans are not Atletico Madrid fans, but try our way. The way Simeone was running around, you got to keep your decorum after a game like that. Something was very wrong there tonight. I don't mind it from Simeone. I don't really care about it. If I'm completely honest with you, I like shithouses. Someone's got to be a villain in life. And if I was an Atletico player, I would feed off that in the same way I would if I'm an Arsenal man. And we do that. Joke thing. We isolate it to what we can control. Yeah. And big up Magalhaes, man. Big up Magalhaes for that one day. Big up Magalhaes for that one day, man. Serious blocking. Shout out Gyökeres, man. You lot can have all your heat maps and XG, bro. We're just here to score goals, cuz. Simple business. Simple business. What's this? Gyökeres in his debut season for Arsenal, 12 GA in 32 games in the Prem. In the Champions League, in 11 games, he's got 6 GA. In the FA Cup, he's got 1 GA in 2 games. The League Cup, he's got 2 GA in 4 games. So, yeah, man, we got 99 problems. He's not one. Although, if we want to sign a left winger, another striker, centre mid, and a right back, and really review what we're doing to keep players fit, why not? We're still unbeaten in Europe, at least for now. Arsenal have equaled their longest ever unbeaten run in the European Cup/Champions League, going 13 consecutive games without defeat for the second time between March 2005 and April 2006. April 2006, and then what happened next month? Saka completed more dribbles than any other player in tonight's Champions League. There was a couple times he got away from his opponent, but yeah, Jimenez could have done better. In the first half, nobody won more duels than Hincapié. Warrior performance, if I'm honest. And you know, there was even if I'm honest, even Hincapié, like it's kind of like the Fulham game in our case all season, in that Martinelli could have found Hincapié. A couple of times Hincapié has put decent balls into the box and nobody's gambling. Actually, ironically, when Gyökeres has come off, you're thinking, Jesus, like, why are you not there? Noni's crazy in it, because I can't say this too many times, but Noni's put some decent balls into the box and no one's taking advantage. Couldn't believe it. You know, Odegaard should have scored, but we would have all been waxing lyrical about the finish from Gyökeres. So football's decided in both ends. Isolated to what we can control. We probably could have scored more. We definitely should have conceded some more. Refereeing decisions on another day, they're given, they're not given, clear and obvious, all this kind of jazz. Is what it is, man. But yeah, Hincapié, another good game. And I was looking at you in particular because you played it last season for Leverkusen. 7 final third entries, 5 duels contested, won 5 duels, 1 possession 4 times, had 4 interceptions, 1 shot block, 0 fouls conceded, and made 2 tackles. And there was obviously, in terms of managing the game, we did manage it well, but there was moments where I think we was a bit, not emotional or rattled, but when decisions went against us, like I'm sure Rice put one sloppy ball out for Saliba. So yeah, man, there's things we could do better. Julian Alvarez is Julian Alvarez, isn't it? So yeah, man. Big up Declan Rice. What's this? Declan Rice completed 83 passes versus Atletico Madrid, the second most by an English midfielder in a Champions League semi-final since records began. There was only 0.76 less XG in the Atletico Madrid Arsenal 1-1 than the PSG 5 Bayern 4. Puts things into perspectives, if I'm completely honest with you, man. Like, and big up Rooney. Rooney likes us, you know. Rooney likes us. Only ex-Man United player that don't chat crap. Gyökeres has scored the last 27 penalties he has taken for club and country. 21 for Sporting, 4 for Arsenal, 2 for Sweden. No one bread. All while he's wearing jeans as well. Don't bread. Who did you lot give man of the match to? Because I'd actually go Hincapié, but I think him and Rice, they really did their thing, man. And big up Simeone. When it's all said and done, it is what it is. And as Frimpong has tweeted, see you at the Emirates. Arsenal lodged a complaint with UEFA over the condition of the pitch